Good morning, gorgeous ones. Dr. Lucy here in the bathroom, and there's a little view outside my window, which is where I often see my sunrise. This morning, I thought I'd briefly pop in and just talk about feeling out of control. I think a lot of us probably do feel a little out of control at the moment, especially if you're in New South Wales. But even for those of us in Victoria, the numbers in Sydney are pretty triggering, and it invokes this sense of fear that could come back to Melbourne and Victoria could be back in lockdown at some stage in the future. And I think what I would like to say is that those thoughts are real. I mean, we can't pretend that's not a possibility. But what happens for a lot of us is we spend all this time there worrying about it. We focus on it, it becomes the center of our thoughts. We feel out of control, we feel a bit scared, and we don't know what to do about it. We might be angry, we might be frustrated, we might be cross. All of those feelings are valid, but food doesn't fix them. Because then what happens is we've got these really uncomfortable feelings, we don't like them, they really feel a bit awful, and so we eat to fix them. And for a lot of people, it's like that, it's just a given that that's going to happen. So, people would come into, and still do, people are coming into my clinic, I go, "Oh, how are you going?" Blah, blah, blah. And they go, "Oh, well, I was going really well in my life, and then last year, COVID, so, 20 kilos. And I get it, I really do. But it doesn't have to be like that. We can change the narrative. When we focus on all the things that are outside of our control, it's really disempowering because we can't change it, okay? We can't change, New South Wales health policies. We can't change, I'm frustrated as a GP that for a lot of the advice, they go see your GP. The first I'm hearing about it is the first you're hearing about it. So, in Sydney, I feel for them. They're suddenly being told, the 12-week vaccination schedule is now 8 weeks. And that's like, oh, great, except people are all, the vaccine schedule's all booked up. There are no appointments for 8 weeks. How do you suddenly bring people forward? It's just, and again, we're not asked or told or consulted. We just hear about it in the media. The feelings that you're having are valid, but what we can do is ruminate on them and essentially magnify them because we spend all this time in there. This is the opportunity to actually look at what is, that serenity prayer that, of being able to work out what is in your control and what isn't, and having the courage to change the things that are in your control and the wisdom to know what's not. It's really important because when we just spend a lot of time focusing on stuff that's out of our control, for which we have no influence on, it actually takes away our ability to control the things that are in our control, like the food. So my loves, what I would be suggesting, really, really think about what's in your control. It is in your control what you put in your mouth. I know it's tempting to say, well, COVID's here and it's all terrible, or it doesn't even have to be COVID. It can be my boss is an asshole and makes me feel like shit, so I'm gonna eat. Or, it's really stressful, I'm working 2 jobs and I haven't got any time and I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna eat. There's a whole lot of stories. At the end of the day, really think about, is this, what's in my control? What can I change? Because railing against something that really you have no influence over is unhelpful to you. All right, lovelies, that's it. In my control is my hot shower. I'm going to go jump in and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, darlings.